Hello, everybody. My name is Jarek Bucholc. I'm the founder of Canada Real Estate Investors Club, Street Smart Real Estate Investing, and who knows how many other companies, and we don't really count them. The most important thing is to provide you with the information and to make you aware of different solutions in real estate investing, different way of investing, and different sources of generating the leads. And today we have our friend from South, Mr. Tim. And I do not want to, butcher your name, same like everybody else are butchering mine.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce your name correctly?
DeCapua. I'm sure you're like you mentioned, you're very familiar with it as well, and you've probably had every mispronunciation known to man.
That's perfect, fine, right? And I have a kind of one role of making sure that whoever talk to me is, if they pronounce my name correctly, the Jarek, that means I had the pleasure to talk with that person, and I correct it. And that's one of the things which makes my life much easier. If they pronounce my name correctly, that means we mean business, right, Tim? So
Amen to that.
I made happen to you too, right? So
exactly, yes.
So Tim, would you mind telling about yourself, about the company, who you are, what exactly you've been doing?
Sure, absolutely. Well, for starters, Jarek, thank you for allowing me to come on today and being gracious with your time to share with everybody.
Likewise.
I really appreciate that. In answer to your question, been in real estate full time since 2006 here in the U.S. In Ohio. The past several years, been focusing primarily on turnkey, cash flowing, passive income properties. Mm-hmm. Just as been in this business since 2006, as most of us know who've been in this for a while. After the 2008 mortgage madness, kind of had to shift some gears and adapt, so to speak.
Ninja mortgages, right? You're talking about.
Yeah, the ninja, exactly.
Okay. So, why real estate investing? Why no other businesses?
Good question. I actually, many years ago, when I was in college, many years ago, quite honestly, I think I was one of those individuals that was not fortunate at that time to sitting in college, having no idea what I wanted to major in, have no idea what I wanted to do, which was kind of a disheartening and feeling, just being in college, not knowing what direction wanted to go in. Fast forward a little bit, went into the family business of radio station for a handful of years, and ended up getting out of the radio business. And just, I know it's kind of cliche, but many years ago was watching one of those late night little real estate infomercials, and as the old saying goes, the light bulb clicked on, the aha moment of now I know, the eureka moment.
Oh, so many people been there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you taking any courses, or what have you done in order to become where you are at this moment?
Way back when I saw that little aha moment commercial, started networking like crazy. I think this was probably back in the early 2000s. Started networking like crazy. Actually did end up buying a course at that. It was more focused on short sales and wholesaling. Did purchase a course, dove into that, did tons and tons of networking, and worked as a bird dog for a pretty big investor for a little stretch of time. So just kind of did a handful of things, little school of hard knocks, bird dogging, took a course, but all of that was probably early 2000s. So that's how I ended up getting started.
I see. So, people are taking courses, but they never finish. But looks like you are one of those rare kind of business people, which if you dedicated yourself, you achieve something, right? So that's a good sign, definitely, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I know that. I don't know, just a lot of people end up just getting sidetracked and busy with their life, and real estate is, as you know, Jarek, it's really outstanding, probably the best or one of the best wealth builders on the planet. But when you're first getting started, there's a lot of work involved, especially when you're a newbie, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so what kind of real estate investing strategy you favor the most at this moment?
At this moment, it really, a handful of years ago, it really evolved. And pardon me if I just backtrack just slightly. As I mentioned, I was working full time in real estate during the 2008 nationwide and global mortgage crisis. At that time, was doing investing at that time, but also was working with loss mitigation at the time, along with doing personal investing. Loss mitigation being that we were actually working with homeowners to, when feasible, help them to try to save their home. And it was very enlightening and life-changing experiences just through that entire thing. But just as the market evolved, post 2008, we started to realize just over the past several years that the one blessing, probably the only blessing that came out of that 2008, 2009 madness was that it, especially in the Midwest states here in the U.S., Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Tennessee, it really created a pretty incredible opportunity to invest in buy and hold and wealth building passive income properties. So that's how, just through time, things kind of evolved, and we had to kind of adapt to the market, and that's how we got into this particular focus right now with buy and hold turnkey properties.
Okay, buy, hold. Okay, how does it work? Just quickly, just to make everybody understand. Everybody who are listening and participating in these presentations, they may not even know how that works. So
sure. Basically, in a nutshell, turnkey, and the whole premise of turnkey is that, and we've worked with just over the past couple of years, a lot of investors from Europe, the Middle East, Canada, where structuring the proper turnkey for them is where it's completely hands-off, property management in place, and buy the property. There's already a tenant who's paying rent, treating the home like their home, and where it's literally hands-off for the investor. They don't have to worry about toilets or 3 a.m. phone calls from tenants. So that's basically in a nutshell what we provide.
Okay. So are you working on any deals as we speak?
Absolutely. And we're always, every month have new deals that we have, either single family. We really like duplexes, triplexes, quads a lot. Just because we get 2 families, 3 families, 4 families in one property, and it really bumps up the cash flow where it's really, really nice. So yeah, we're always every month we're bringing in new inventory.
I see. What kind of, just out of curiosity, what kind of ROI we are talking about? For all the Canadian folks, guys, listen now.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, most of our bread and butter that we focus on are properties that anywhere, whether if it's a single family or triplex or quad, anywhere between $35,000 and $60,000 US dollars is roughly what we like to focus on, and most of those bring in anywhere between $600 to $1,200 a month, depending on how big the property is, how many units it has in monthly rental income.
I see.
So yeah, when you mentioned as far as for the Canadian investors out there that are listening, we're in Toledo, Ohio, by the way, Joe. Thank you for that message. We're in Ohio. But Jarek, just to slightly backtrack to what you kind of touched on a minute ago. About it was 3 years ago, I had an opportunity to be at one of your Toronto real estate conventions. It's a very nice convention, and I think I lost count of how many individuals walked up to us during the 2-day convention, and they saw who we are, what we are, the price of our properties, etc. And I think multiple of them said, "That won't even buy us a bathroom here in Toronto." And that's been the one blessing that here in the Midwest, Ohio, Michigan, just over the past several years, the market and the price point, plus the ROI is we've been really fortunate where we can provide that for a lot of other Canadian investors, European investors, and that want to build their wealth for their family and not want to have to work until they're 110 and not be able to retire.
Perfect. So where and what kind of goals you would like to achieve within near future within your business?
Basically, our primary goal is absolutely to try to help as many people as we can grow and build their wealth. And kind of expanding on that a little, just to slightly backtrack, when I mentioned that post 2008-09, where we, along with investing, we're also working with loss mitigation and had the opportunity to, on several occasions, sit at the kitchen table or living room with a homeowner who was on the verge of possibly losing their home, and sitting down with them to try to hopefully, when feasible, help them save their home. It was very, very sobering just to see and sense and feel what they were going through, and when we were able to help some of those homeowners save their home, it was incredibly gratifying. So to fast forward to present day, and sorry to kind of take a little longer to explain your.
Don't worry, take your time, man, because that's the most important thing. We would like to just introduce who you are, how you work, and
I appreciate it.
No pressure, man.
Yeah, no. Thank you. To fast forward to present day, from that experience from 08-09, I'm very aware that I'm not 100% privy as to what the exact numbers are in Canada, but I know that here in the United States, for instance, just over the past 2-3 years, I've seen different percentages on this, but on multiple occasions, I've seen where somewhere in the ballpark of like 40 some percent of working Americans right now literally cannot afford to retire ever. And just being in their shoes, and it's really a blessing when we can provide this outlet of growing their wealth so that someone doesn't have to work until they're 145 years old and can never retire, and just have peace of mind for their family.
I see. Yeah, that's unfortunate, and everywhere else is very similar, right? So in Canada also is happening that many people are having kind of challenges to generate enough cushion for retirement, right? So
yeah, my apologies for interjecting, but just to kind of expand on what you just touched on, Jarek. Yeah, I have also seen just multiple different little snippets where I think a very high percentage, at least half of, I don't know if it how high it is in Canada, but at least half or more of the population here in the U.S. literally they lives paycheck to paycheck, where if something happens, just life, there's always something that happens. Your car breaks down, and that's a $1,200 repair, or one of your children breaks their arm during recess, or there's just always something that pops up that.
Unfortunate, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if half the population is literally working paycheck to paycheck, and something like that pops up, and where they can't pay their rent, that's where we try to share with them of, let's show you another way of how you can build your wealth, how you can supplement your retirement. U.S. Ohio turnkey properties can really help them immensely.
Okay, so let's talk about how you are marketing yourself, how you are getting exposed among other potential investors, partners working with you. How you make sure that you can reach as many people as possible to work with you. Can you share some secrets about that?
Yes. Just the past several years, it's been a combination of networking. So I know through your wonderful website that you have, it's a wonderful website that allows just a lot of real estate investors, whether they're just started yesterday or like yourself have been in it for years, allows people the opportunity to network and help each other. So just the past several years, we've been doing a lot of networking, meeting a lot of good people, whether it be through the LinkedIn website, or as I shared with you a few minutes ago, we 3 years ago were at the Toronto Real Estate Convention, and also a few years ago we did a lot of business with some European investors, just a lot of networking over the past several years, and meeting a lot of good people, and just word of mouth as well.
So you're talking about a lot of investors out of the US are investing with you. Is it a lot of Chinese, a lot of people from Europe? What's the percent? I'm just very curious how much competition there is.
We have not been fortunate enough as of yet to work with anyone from China. Mm-hmm. However, we've done a lot of business with investors from the Middle East. Also, quite a handful of investors from the UK. we've been fortunate to connect with those good people and just through our networking and meeting. A lot of it is through word of mouth. Actually, about 90 minutes ago, I read a very nice email from a gentleman who he's actually from the UK, but he's a teacher. And he is actually not teaching in the UK, but he and his family moved to the Middle East for teaching it. About an hour and a half ago, read a really nice email just saying, they thank you. My wife's parents would like some assistance. Here's their email address. So a lot of it is through just networking over the past several years and word of mouth and just meeting a lot of good people.
Okay, comparing to other companies, other investors from United States or anywhere else, what's make you unique?
Well, there are definitely multiple turnkey companies that are just like us. Some of them are very good, very, very good at what they do, very established as well. So we just try to help whenever and wherever we can. I guess in answer to the second part of your question as to what sets us apart, from time to time, just especially over the past few years, had the question on multiple occasions of someone from Canada or Europe or wherever might ask us the question of, hey, how is Toledo, Ohio for a flipping market? And I usually are bluntly honest and share with them that you definitely do flip deals here or anywhere, but there are definitely other markets for flipping, Phoenix, Arizona, other markets that are a lot more conducive for flipping than what the Midwest states are, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana. But when it comes to buy and hold, wealth building, turnkey, making money while you sleep, as the old saying goes. I guess in answer to your question, as far as what makes us unique, just here being in the Midwest and being in this business for full-time several years, that has been the blessing that we can right here with boots on the ground and taking care of all facets of the business and providing these wealth building opportunities.
Perfect. Very humble answer, Tim. Thank you. I appreciate so much. And I'm glad that I took the faith and we are working on the future, ventures and everything. And I hopefully anybody who is listening to us will be working with us at one point, right? So what kind of suggestions, feedback to anyone who is thinking about real estate investing you would like to give it, as a person who's been in the trenches on regular basis, right? If they are thinking about investing or they want to invest, your suggestions.
Absolutely. I guess the best way that it's an outstanding question. The best way that I can answer that and look at that is I know that it is whether investors in Canada or the UK or Toledo, Ohio, or I know that just a lot of people, a lot of investors, just by human nature, they like to invest in what something in their home that's right there in their backyard. Just because they could see it, they could touch it. But using the old analogy of, if I'm not mistaken, even in Canada, but here in the United States, I know that I think that was back in the 1840s. I think 19th century in Canada, where there was a gold rush. and like here where they had the California gold rush, where they struck gold in California, and I'm not mistaken, in the 19th century in Canada they had gold rushes as well, where literally just people wanting to take advantage of that opportunity, they were like, "Well, honey, it's time to pack our bags. We're moving. Get in the carriage. We have to move to California," where it literally was a mass migration of people moving out west to take advantage of the opportunity to get rich, to strike gold, etc. So using that analogy, what we like to emphasize, it being turnkey, in the amazing opportunity of Midwest properties in the past several years for passive income wealth building offers, is we have a system where we have built-in property management in-house, where people don't have to move from Quebec or Calgary or Poland or the United Kingdom, and sorry, honey, we have to move. Where it's an outstanding wealth builder, and it's completely hands off. And I guess quoting the great Warren Buffett, where I think he had a line of if you're not making money while you sleep, then you have to work until you die. So we like to put it all pieces in place where we have the turnkey, and our investors are really making money in their sleep, and they don't have to fly across the country and move to California for the gold rush.
Bingo. Yeah, honestly, like technology, instead of let's go get into the carriages, let's go, where is the hotspot internet access, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, technology, right? Everybody who is thinking about real estate investing should not be limited only for local area, which is advisable. There's no doubt, right? If you are a beginner investor, or if you would like to know exactly how that is done and everything, yes, we encourage you to invest locally. However, if someone who is overseeing all the logistics, right? That's the most important thing. Who's overseeing the logistics and make sure that the job is done properly, even better than if you could have done by yourself. Who cares, right? I want to be in Mexico, right?
Yeah, so. Exactly. I know everyone has their comfort level, and they like to buy stuff in their backyard, but I know in a lot of cases, especially from the when we're at the Toronto real estate convention, I think I had at least 4, 5, 6 people come up to us, and they looked at our properties and like, wow, that would be $200,000 here.
Cheap?
Yeah, that's $250,000. Oh my Lord. So yeah, that's why we have everything in place, property management, overseeing the property, maintenance, taking care of all facets of the maintenance of the property, just so that 365 days out of the year, everything is humming along, running smoothly, and hands-free.
Okay, so let's talk about what kind of services, if whoever is participating and listening to our conversation, what kind of features or how you can help those guys. Doesn't matter even Canadian or from US or from anywhere else, to be honest with you. Internet has no limitations. What kind of, how you can help them? Simple.
Sure. Absolutely. Anyone can give me my direct email address is tim@wealthbuildingrealestate.com. So that's TIM at wealthbuildingrealestate.com. We, as far as what services we could help them with, it's literally everything is hands off. And as far as for wealth building, we actually have had investors that have flown here before. Mm-hmm. So we would be happy to meet anyone and everyone. I have a gentleman next month, I think middle to end of October, who's flying in from the UK. And meeting him in Chicago. We're always happy to meet people in person as well. It would be outstanding, and get together for a little lunch or coffee.
Okay. Perfect. So one of the couple concerns which anybody who are investing in real estate, out of the border and United States is, and we will be covering, right? So about double taxations, structuring the legalities, right? Should you open LLC, or what kind of logistics should be done prior to be investing? Should you put in money and keep money in U.S. bank account? Should you reinvest again in U.S.? That kind of things we will be covering the near presentation on the November 15th, if I'm not mistaken. So, guys, I would love to have opportunity, Tim, to invite everybody who are participating now and who is listening to us through other media. So if you're thinking about investing in the United States, this is the place and this is the presentation. So you would like to attend, right, Tim? Right?
Absolutely. And I look forward to it. And I appreciate you scheduling that day for everybody. Thank you for that.
There is no doubt about that, because I believe it. You are very humble and you have a very good energy, as a business person, Tim, right?
Very kind of you. Thank you.
And you're having challenges with your family name, so we can have something in common.
Yeah.
This is just a joke, right? So, very important thing is there is a lot of time and effort in order to structure the logistics for anyone to be successful. Doesn't matter if you are investing in locally or remotely. And our goal is very, very simple with the team, is to give you an opportunity to have a hands-on investment strategy where you will be feeling comfortable, right? That's being comfortable is the most important thing for anyone, while, putting your own hard-earned sleepless nights, a lot of stress money, and that has to be handled properly, right? So building the trust relationship, and providing the value and providing step-by-step how that is done is our goal. And I do everybody to encourage to book it and listen to and participate in that presentation. That presentation will be straightforward sales, guys, right? So I am not going to sweet talk to you and provide you pressure tactics. 15 November, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. The link is provided here, and you can see it. Tim, do you have anything to add? What will be covering on that presentation?
Yeah, thank you. Number one will definitely be not only touching on a handful of things that we have already discussed and shared, but as you kind of a few minutes ago alluded to, Jarek, we'll be going in a little bit more in depth as far as that's more specific towards Canadians, because as I know you are privy to, Jarek, that when it comes to cross-border investing, there's just different rules, different regulations, whether it be some people prefer or need to obtain financing, and the vast majority of companies, they don't offer cross-border financing, for investment properties. However, we do have a couple that we are aware of, and we'll be sharing that on the 15th. And secondly, and more importantly, what you shared a few minutes ago, Jarek, as far as delving more into the logistics of the important topics of the proper business entity creation and how it meshes with avoiding double taxation, and our friend Uncle Sam, and even though a lot of people do prefer or like to buy in their properties in their personal name, but that's to each his own. But however, we usually, especially in the United States, being a very litigious country, we definitely advise having the proper business entity that you take ownership in, and just so it protects you and your family in all facets, and also to try to minimize any taxation or double taxation as well. So we will be going more in depth on the 15th on that as well.
Definitely, guys. So looking forward to seeing you, Tim, at that presentation, which will be very straightforward, how that is done, what has to be done, samples of the deals, leads, and everything. And if we will not know the answer, we will get the answer for you, because we are not accountants, we are not the lawyers, we are just simple real estate investors, and sharing the deals and sharing the vision to build the wealth for everybody who will be working with us, right, Tim?
Yes.
That, right?
Exactly. Definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
thank you again, Jarek, for having me on today. I very much appreciate that.
And definitely. So anybody who has any questions, please don't hesitate to contact Mr. Tim. Would you mind giving back again the same email? Is Tim at...
Sure. Tim at wealthbuildingrealestate.com. That's TIM at wealthbuildingrealestate.com. Also have a toll-free number, 888-392-2774, for anybody that has any questions, or if we could assist in any manner.
And anybody who will be subscribed to our list is a member of our organizations. You will be getting an update as long as you're interested, right? So www.realestateinvesting.community, simple as that. It's kind of long domain name. Who cares? As long as we will be making money together, right, Tim? And we will be making money. And most importantly, make money for the investors, right? So that's the goal.
You stole the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. Exactly.
Two minds thinking and alike. That's the goal, right? So thank you very much, Tim. Pleasure. I appreciate your time and effort. What we are going to do is very, very simple. We will provide information on a regular basis, how that is done, samples, and looking forward to whoever will be interested to see the presentations of upcoming presentations. Will be on the November 15, will be recorded. Then there will be more presentations. So do not worry if you miss it. We are recording all the presentations, and whoever is interested in investing in United States, we will get you ball rolling. Simple as that. As long as you will say yes, we will help you with doing so. Right, Tim?
Amen to that, Jarek. And I look forward to joining you on November 15th and diving into things a little bit more in-depth topic-wise, and hopefully being able to help a lot of good people.
And I hope you enjoyed the humble conversation with Mr. Tim. You don't have much experience talking much, Mr. Tim. Sorry, straightforward Polish way of thinking, but that's a good sign.
I just try to speak straight from the heart and from just empathizing with other people and just life experiences that I've had that have kind of guided me along the way, and whether it was loss mitigation, working with homeowners or facing foreclosure, to present day, working with people that live paycheck to paycheck or can never retire or have to work until they're 212 years old, and just to provide another avenue for them to another way to build their wealth, hands-free, and where they don't have to get up a la the gold rush and move to California or wherever for that.
I don't mind moving to California per se, just for the sake of living there, right? However, not be forced because to dig out the gold, right? We are having the gold mine. We have to just utilize it and spread the word. And beauty of having, technology on our back and supporting us will be very beneficial. So, Mr. Tim, I appreciate your time. Respectfully, thank you very much for your humble answers. Looking forward to working with you on a regular basis. And we will be rock and rolling, simple as that.
Rock and roll, absolutely. Thank you, Jarek. I appreciate your time, and thank you. And I look forward to chatting and connecting with you on the 15th of November.